We often think that our lives will never be affected by disability. And when it does somehow affect us, we consider our lives to be absolutely destroyed.
It happened in my life that I gave birth to 2 children with special needs. When Katya, my oldest daughter, was born, I did not realize she had any problems. At 15 months, she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and I thought it was curable. I did my best to treat her myself, but then Tanya was born, and we experienced the same issues as with Katya. I took my 2 children to the regional sanatorium, where they received treatment and went through rehabilitation. And I realized that this disability was for a lifetime. It's very difficult to go anywhere with 2 children with disabilities, and I didn't expect any help from doctors.
In 2013, I went to the lake with my friends, where I dove and broke my neck, fracturing the 6th cervical vertebrae with complete disruption of the spinal cord. For 2 years, I was unable to do anything for myself. Other people fed me, changed my clothes, and took care of me like a small child. At that time, it was very difficult for me to communicate with my relatives and friends. I thought nobody needed me because of my disability.
Now my mornings begin with getting one child up, dressing her, getting the other child up, then doing some things on our small farm. Cooking breakfast and feeding the girls. Then, for example, if Tanya has school lessons beginning at 9, I have to prepare her for them. Katya also attends some lessons. Tanya is busy much of the time doing exercises. She is moving toward her dream. She wants to learn to walk. Katya cannot feed herself, so I have to feed her. I thank God that Tanya was taught to feed herself in preschool. Also, I have to put them in the tub myself, bathe them, and get them out of it. The whole day goes like this. I was discouraged and didn't know what to do. For 12 years, I stayed home with our problems. It was very difficult. I began to realize that I simply needed to leave the house and have fellowship with other people. As time goes by, it becomes physically more difficult to care for children. I am very glad that a rehabilitation center such as Agape was built.
The Agape Rehabilitation Complex began working 3 years ago. On the 25th of June 2016, the complex has 3 primary areas of work. The first area is physical rehabilitation for people with various neurological and orthopedic diagnoses, such as spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, and stroke. The second area is temporary accommodation for people with disabilities. It often happens that the relatives of people with disabilities become physically exhausted from providing daily care, do not get enough sleep, and have no one around who can help them. And what should they do if they need to undergo an urgent surgery or go on a business trip to another city? Who will care for their relative? This is when the option of temporary accommodation at Agape is necessary. The third area is the Physical Therapy Training Center. There are people all over Ukraine who are ministering to people with disabilities, and this training center was started for them. They can come here to receive physical therapy training from qualified professionals and then return home to potentially open centers similar to the Agape Rehabilitation Complex.
Then the Lord sent people to me who invited me to the Agape Rehabilitation Complex, and I went. This is where my physical therapy began. After rehabilitation, little by little, I started to live independently. I learned how to dress myself. I continued working out, and I had very good results. Sometime later, I decided to live by myself, to try to be independent. I lived on my own for about 3 months. It is not easy in a wheelchair, but it is possible.
Here they have the opportunity to fellowship with other people, because at home I am busy and cannot give them as much attention as I would like. And here they can talk more with the caregivers and the people living in the center. They like the food here, and the nursing care is also good. It is something new in their lives, something interesting that they didn't have before.
I had a lot of different problems with my health, especially with pressure sores. God provided the opportunity for me to live in Agape where the staff took care of me. It was very convenient and it was a huge blessing for me. After my pressure sores healed, I continued to live in Agape for some time where I was active in sports and had fellowship with other people. For me, it was a wonderful atmosphere where people in the wheelchairs could talk to, listen to, and support one another. Every person had something difficult to discuss. And at Agape, the medical personnel are very professional.
I really hope that in the future, small houses would be built for people with disabilities to live on the grounds of the Agape Rehabilitation Complex. I do not know how long of a life God will give me. I worry about where my children will be in the future, and I would like for them to have good care. I am thankful to God that people come here for rehabilitation, and my soul rejoices that people can know the love of God.
Right now, one of the biggest blessings in my life is that I got married recently. God blessed me with a wonderful and beautiful wife who truly is my help and support in life. Life in a wheelchair is not the end, but instead the beginning of something new. If you continue moving forward, never giving up, God will surely bless you.